Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Blessing. My name is Tessa-Marie, and today you are here to receive the vitamin for your soul. Hi, it is the 24th of May, 2024. Lots of twos and fours today. A single five, but here we are. It's an amazing morning. Good morning, Lynn. How are you feeling today? Hi, Colleen. Thank you for a wonderful day yesterday. How are you guys feeling this morning? It is a beautiful day, and welcome to the Morning Blessing. Another day to be amazing, another day to choose, another day to wake up and say, I got this, and another day to smile a little bit more, another day to laugh. Good morning, Gary. How are you feeling this morning in grand old Dominica? Having fun, I see. So, it's 8 o'clock. Let's get the show on the road. You are here. I am here. Oh, I love that. Lynn is feeling fabulous. And Lisa, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let us get it. Today, giving and receiving. Ha, ha, ha. The morning blessing is the art of giving, the art of receiving. Hi, Arita. Good morning. I'm talking about giving and receiving because sometimes we realize how amazing. Hi, Nancy. Good morning. It is that. Hi, Loretta. Good morning. To receive and to give and to care and to that and to this. And we know we have a lot of stuff for that. Why do you give? What do you feel when you give to others? We all have to learn to answer that question. Why do you give? Why do you give? And why and what it is you feel when you give or you others. Take time to observe what type of emotion surfaces when you give. This is weird, but you guys know I'm weird. So I'm going to give you an experience I had in meditation a long time ago. Long ago. I loved meditating. I loved just sitting and my mind would travel. And I guess maybe that's why I love to write stories and all of these things that I do. So, being about 17 or 18 in the vision of imagination and dressed in something that is very thin, like Indian cotton, that thin, just very slender. And there I am walking through a marketplace. It's almost like I'm walking with this person that is supposed to protect me, or a guard or something. Anyway, I'm walking through this ancient place. I had never experienced that type of, not meditation, visualization, imagination. My mind will take off and I have to watch it. And as I'm walking through, I notice I have a pouch in my hand. And in this pouch, it must be money. It's a little pouch, And some person came up to me and asked for something from me, and the man who was supposed to be there with me when I went to give slapped me on my hand. He didn't say anything, just slapped me. And then he got a little bit further down the road, and another typical, what you would call somebody in need, did the same thing, and he again slapped me. And when he did, he turned this time and he said, listen, it's not because the person looks like they need or they look like they're needy that you have to give. And he didn't say anything else. So then the next person that approached me was somebody that looked wealthy. And they asked, and he allowed me to pour the coins in that person's hand. Hi, Angelina, good morning. Hi, Luco, good morning. And he turned to me and he said, sometimes when you're giving, it's not because the person looks poor that you give. You give because that person you're giving to really will use it, will appreciate it, will love it, and they'll choose to do what they wish with it. But the person that comes to you, give me, and never stops asking for, is not always the person that is most needed. It happened to be coins that he was teaching me on. But I found out as I kept doing this, that it's not coins. It's everything. We give more than money. We give energy to each other. And we give ourselves to each other. We give from our heart, and we give in guidance. We give with a thought. We give with a nice new word. We give because it makes us feel a certain way. And we also, those that receive. So we have to discern. I'm not saying that they said giving is a virtue, but we need to discern. When you give, you have to choose to discern who you're giving to. Right? There are so many ways of giving. They're giving space in your home to a family member that abuses the right to be there, to a friend. Hi, Peter, good morning. So there's a lot of giving that takes place in our life. It's not only about money. My example at that young age in my imagination was that. I don't know. To this day, I can never forget that entire scene. It went on. There was a lot more to it. So when we give, we have to take time to observe what type of emotion surfaces when we give. Do we give because we believe we will go to heaven? Is that why we give? Because we are going to go to that place we don't know where it is. And really, as you get younger, like me, heaven is the place where you are. There is not another heaven anywhere else. This is heaven on earth. This is earth in heaven. Our choice is to make it that, and we choose to make it heaven or earth. Depends on our emotions again. Or do you give because you enjoy the feeling it gives you? Everything we do is based on feelings. Feelings. Everything we do. Even when we just do something, it's just because of feeling. When we think something, feelings comes into it. Feeling is an emotion that is very strong because it can go dark or it can go bright. So when you give, do you give because you feel good doing it? I can't tell you which one to choose. I give because I just love to give. I don't know. It just fills me. It makes me feel amazing. I love it. So it's selfish because I do it because I love the feeling it emanates from me. So do you give to be liked by those you give? Do you give because you want people to like you? So you give them so they can choose to be said, oh no, she's nice or he's nice, and you give for that reason. Do you give because you want others to see you as someone who is giving, to feel more successful than those you give to? Is that why you give? So you see, we all have to know why we do things. What is our purpose, our actions for doing certain things? We need to understand that giving is an art. There's another part of giving, and that part is the receiving. And I've talked a lot about it. When you give a gift to someone, hi Rose, good morning. How are you feeling today? And they love to receive that gift. And they take it gracefully. If you look back or you study that person, you'll find out, they love to give. So they receive with grace. And then, do you only give to family? Is that what you do? I'm going to give it to family. I'm going to make sure my family gets it all. We have heard the saying, charity begins at home, but it should not end there. It has to. Charity is not a donation. I'm not talking about donating to the charitable organization. Charity actually is love, right? In 2 Corinthians, it tells you 9-7, each of you should give what you have, decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. When you hand it over, how do you feel? When you give to someone, whether it's the person on the sidewalk, or the person that's sitting on the grid, the person that looks destitute, or the person that has a lot. When you do that, how do you feel? When you are purportedly to have, people don't give you because they say you have. You can buy what you want. But if somebody chooses to behave that way, that is because that person does not want to give. Because it's not a physical thing that is giving only. a little bit of your wisdom, a little advice, sharing a recipe, giving something that you like, that you enjoy doing, sharing something, sharing, I can fix this dress for you. I could make a skirt for you in 20 minutes because I can do that. And you're struggling, oh, it's too short, it's too tall. I can't. That person has that gift. Spend how long? 15 minutes? So give that 15 minutes. That 15 minutes you just give to that person is an amazing thing. There's another way of giving that is really, really, really amazing, and yet we do not know how to do it. It is an art. I do it twice a day. You take a deep breath, or 3 of them. You see, something that is, before we go there, that breath, even when you have a discomfort in your body, you know you can breathe through it, right? You can go and breathe and let the air pass through that discomfort. Breathe out through that discomfort. Okay. So you can choose. Remember, we are energy. We know that. We hear it. It's more so now than we ever heard before. Because all of a sudden we became the 10, what do you call it? I forgot that book. Oh, anyway. I'll bring it up another time. The Insights. Anybody heard of those books? The Insights. It's an amazing old book. I stumbled on them in a bookstore, maybe 97 or 95. But one of the things we can do as energy givers is to decide, rather than get angry at what's happening in the world, why not pull in 3 deep breaths and picture, good morning, Jean, how are you feeling today? And picture in your mind's eye, love leaving you and going all through the world. To do that, though, you have to be conscious, but you're giving that energy of love. You cannot say where you want it to go to. You just have to let it fly. You have to let love come from you and go out there. You can choose all of these virtues. I use love. I choose joy. I choose peace to do that with every day, twice a day. I use faith. Excuse me. I use compassion. I use kindness. I use laughter. I use happiness. I use thankfulness. I said belief, I think. Belief for sure. And gratitude and appreciation. And every now and again, another one will come up. That one might not stay. So you have you can only start saying, you know what, good morning world. I'm going to send joy out to the world. Close your eye. And see the word joy just fluttering out of you, out of your mind's eye, and going towards the world. For that 30 seconds or less that you have done it, guess what? You gave to the world. You didn't think of receiving from the world. You were actually in the art of giving. So when a new one pops in, I do it, but I notice the next day, I wouldn't even remember it. I will do the same one, and every now and again, one of them will show up. Why is there happiness and laughter? You think they're the same. The ability to truly laugh is enjoyable. They say it moves whatever it moves in our body, yet we use it so little. We see and we do not understand that all we see is perfection. So we give. Are you the person, though, that in 2 Corinthians told us, for God loves a cheerful giver? Do you write a big check for church because you know the priest is going to look at you and honor you for the church, the check that you write? Or do you just write it because you want that building to stay there? Do you just write it because you feel that it's important to you to give back to the energy of your parish, of your synagogue, of your temple, of your mosque? Do you do that? And when you give, do you give the best of all you have? What you will not wear that is torn and dirty and all of that, do not put it in the charitable bags. Don't do that. Because guess what? You will maybe you're blocking your own flow of receiving. Are you the giver that will give to reciprocate? You gave me, I give you. They gave me, I give you. Are you that? Then don't do it. That's not what giving is about. Are you the one that when somebody gives you something, oh, you shouldn't have. I don't need anything. Come on, you need something. We all need something. So just say what you need. When it's time to give Tessa-Marie shilling for a gift, I state, especially to my children, what I desire. And a long time ago, I still do it. At Christmas time, I buy myself a gift. I wrap it, put it under the tree, and I write from me to me. If I want, as you guys know, I sew and design, so if I want a $300 scissors, they might not buy it for me, but I want it, so I bought it myself and put it under the tree, and I love my scissors. See, it brought me joy. So you have to be able to receive, even from your own self. Are you worthy of receiving something that you love, that you desire? Are you worthy? Do you believe you're worthy to spend the money on yourself, to give yourself something? Oh, I don't want anything. You're not a saint, and that doesn't take you to heaven. That attitude stinks. You are blocking your way. I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Nobody asked you. Just say thank you. And if you are bold and say, you know what, guys, rather than buy me this, why don't you get together and give me a day at the spa? Speak up. So you receive what you'll get rather than take it and regift it. And maybe you might make a mistake. Better write the name of the person who gave it to you before you give it right back to them, right? So we all have to learn to receive. And we all have to understand that giving is just because you choose to. Why does God love a cheerful giver? 2 Corinthians tells that to us. There are tons of places in the Bible where you look at the word charity. And you have to believe that charity is the other word for love. So it's not the physical thing that you give. It's that smile, though. That smile you can flash for no flipping reason. That greeting, that, hey, how are you doing today? Hey, put energy into it. That way to draw the person that you want to be friends with by being a friend to them first. By fooling around with your children, your in-laws, just laughing, letting people feel the energy. Like, there's so much to give besides material things. But like my vision of all those years ago taught me, it's not everybody that comes to you to beg that is necessary to give. I still have to work on a lot of parts of that vision. And I was so young then, and I was young in the vision. But when you purport that the person has, because you don't know for sure, right? Everything. And you choose not to give them something because you believe they have, and why bother? Hey, you know by now, thinking that way is also thinking that you're sending that message to yourself. What you send out, you get right back. How many of us have lived through seeing people saying things about others and even about you that end up being what they got for themselves, not realizing that they are prophesizing their own future by speaking that way. So if you have nobody to actually educate or to motivate, to enhance, to enlighten, a long time ago, because I'm so young, everything I do is from a long time ago. It's being young that does that, right? I said my choice was to enlighten, I call it the 3 E's, educate, and encourage everyone I meet to successfully manage their finances. Because that's what. But now it's to enlighten, educate, and encourage everyone I meet to successfully manage their life. How do you manage your life? You manage your life by realizing you're worthy to be cherished, and the cherishing starts by you. What I have, I want you to have. What I feel that's amazing, I want you to feel that. So when I said to you, send some energy out to the world, It might seem silly or stupid. Try it. Because whatever you send out there, you get right back. You get the joy, you get the help, you get your faith gets stronger, you're more peaceful, you're more joyful. You wake up and you say, I'm sending love to the entire world today. And you believe that, and if you believe it's not going to make a difference, then it won't, right? But remember, I am doing it. Who else is doing it? I don't know. But can you imagine when all that love gets together, the impact it has somewhere in the world? That doesn't mean it will stop all the wars and devastation and famine and all of that thing. It doesn't. But that person that's going through it might come out of it and see one good thing for themselves and feel love. Maybe it's the person who picked them up and hold them and cherish them and say, I've got you. So it's not always the physical giving that makes the big thing. It's your thought. What are you giving? Colin came yesterday to visit, and I had to put the lights in the pergola. So I'd been fooling around with it for a few days for a year. I never did it because I couldn't trust myself to do it by myself. I could maybe ask others, but for some reason I didn't. It seems as if that time was reserved for her to be there to hold the ladder or to give me the lights as I strung them up at the top of the pergola. Now, that wasn't enough. Those of you who don't know, I have a chimes in my garden that's 4 feet tall. It's Westminster chime. So if you ever heard the Westminster clock in London, that's what it is. And the lady who helps me to put it, the lady who works in the garden with me, she was there, but I forgot. And Colin came again. She held the ladder, and I did it. That was a point of giving. She could say, I don't want to take a chance, but she chose not to. She said, okay, we can do this. And we did it together. That is giving. It satisfied me. It made me feel amazing that I got the help to do it because I wanted it. I desired it. So it's not always a physical thing. She didn't buy the lights, but she helped me to make the light shine. So who are you in this world of giving and receiving? Are you the light that's going to shine for somebody else? Do you plan to make that light shine? A long time ago, my neighbor, Nancy, gave me a book from her Aunt Ruth, a Red Hat, because I used to have time to go to the Red Hat Society and have fun with the ladies. And she gave me this book from her Aunt Ruth, her father's sister. And this lady had the greatest penmanship. It's a book to write on. And this lady wrote at the back of the book, I am so grateful I will not have the surgery in the winter. And I am so thankful that the girls are coming to see me. The girls is Nancy and her 2 sisters. And the day her sister died, not too long ago, Nancy's elder sister, that was the day I got to that page. So I took a photo of it and I said, this is the book you gave me from your Aunt Ruth. And here is what I came across today. Today you're telling me Maureen passed away. And it meant something for her. And she said, oh, thank you for sharing that gift, letting me know about that. She didn't know that was in the book. You know when you're giving away family things, she didn't know. So she was happy to get it. And I found myself on that day getting that. So what do you call that? Energy. The connection of energy. Let my sister know I'm going to meet our aunt. Let my sister know my aunt always thought of us as the girls are coming to see me today. So we need to understand that giving and receiving, they work like this. And it's better you shut up than tell a friend, we shouldn't have. You know what, you shouldn't have. Well, I did. It's like when Micah was swimming, at the end of the summer of swimming, we bought a box of chocolate, and he was like 7 or 8. And when he gave it to the swim team captain, where he was at the club he swam at, he said, oh, Micah, you guys shouldn't have. Well, we did. That was Micah's answer. Well, we did. And I went, oops, I guess he's hanging around his grandmother too much. But anyway, giving is also receiving. What you send out is what you're getting. You get it back. So if you are always criticizing others, you are giving that criticism to yourself, not to others. If you always have, it's best if you stop helping than help and criticize it. I regret that you helped and talk about it 10, 20, 30 years. Or you're constantly cursing that person that's now dead that you helped and they did not reciprocate. I always tease you guys and say, leave them alone. Their bones are trumpets for the angels now. The angels are using the whole arm as a trumpet. So leave them alone. Let go of those things. You give negative, you will receive negative. You choose to believe in energy, because I have told you guys stories about energy pushing through myself and my brother Norman. When the cable broke on the Jeep and we're going up to the estate, and it's a winding road straight up 350 whatever above sea level, 3,350 above sea level, and the cable broke to change the gears. And he said to me, I'm going to hold to the cable in my hand, and when I say go, I want you to push on the gear shift. And we did that. And all of a sudden, I could feel the energy moving like that. And up the hill we're going. It's a wind. It looks like a snake, but straight up. And we got there. His hand was just in a mess. My parents had to take care of it, bleeding. But we got home safely. Without that, we wouldn't have made it. So it was giving, receiving. He told me here, and I said, here you are. It's back and forth. That is energy. If you doubt it, you can actually feel energy pulling you one way or the other. And we have to learn to give, just because you have to choose which giving is good for you. I cannot tell anyone which giving is good for them. I know which one is good for me. You have often heard me say that I love how this makes me feel when I do this. And I ask you, is the feeling? How do you feel? Do you love that feeling? Do you want more of it? Guess what you have to do then? You have to do it more. But if you do not like the feeling, or you haven't done it in the way for you to feel nay or yea, you have to figure it out. And that is being in the moment of time. We give our terrible breath to the universe, and the trees gives us the breath of life, right? Carbon in and the other one out. It's back and forth. We are constantly, have anyone ever stopped to realize our breath is not good unless we have trees to take it in, to do whatever they do with it, and to send it back to us so we can survive. We take that away. The tree stops giving us. We will not be able to receive anything. So, why do you give? What do you feel when you give to others? Ask yourself that question. Take time to observe what type of emotion surfaces when you give. Do you give because you believe you will go to heaven? Or do you give because you enjoy it, the feeling it gives you? Do you give to be liked by those you give? Do you give because you want others to see you as someone who is giving to feel more successful than those you give? Which one is it? Do you only give to family? Do you spread it just a little? Just a little. We have heard the saying, charity begins at home, but it doesn't stop there or end there. 2 Corinthians reminds us, there's a lot more, but I love this one. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give. Not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. So the compulsion, if I give, I'll go to heaven. God is seeing me giving, I'll go to heaven. That is compulsion giving. But apparently, they told us not to. He just wants you to give because you are cheerfully doing it. So if you have nothing that you physically can give and there's no opportunity to do it, send some good energy out to the world. I love you, and I respect you. I value you. And remember, these are my experiences. They're not supposed to be what you use, but every day I come, I want to make sure there is a nugget for you, a black pearl, and a pure pink Canadian diamond. You choose. What I know for sure, the one that you can use today and you can use right now is to get your cup of coffee, sit down, and send whatever words of virtues that come to your mind out to the world in peace, quietness, and tranquility. Always seek to be in a tranquil, peaceful atmosphere for you internally. Even in the rumble, you can always find some moments to rest and send that energy out to the world. Love, send it back. We like to get it, so give it back. And when you're receiving something, receive it so gracefully. Just take it and do not add any caveat to it. When you give, do not wag that index finger at the giver on the great and say, don't have drugs. It's none of your business. It leaves your fingers. It's no longer your money. It's their journey. Let them accept, because maybe all that person did while they were on the great was lift up and you saw kind eyes. That's all they had, is a kind eye, and accept it. Have a great day. I am happy and grateful to have brought this to you. So, thank you. John said, truly soothed my soul. Thank you, John. Sunshine, and then Rosie, Angelina, Peter, and all of you wonderful people. Let me see which of you dare to take it all. Rosie, Lynn, Nancy, Carol, Rita, Jean, Lisa, Colleen, Ryan, and Loretta. Thank you, guys. It's Friday. So what are you doing today? It's the weekend. So what about if you just practice sending some love out to the world for somebody to get? Do that for me today. Just one, or choose as many virtues. What about patience? To that person that flies off the handle for no reason at all. If you know one. If not, just send it. Somebody out there needs it. Have a great day. Love you. Take care. See you guys on Monday. I don't know if I'll be in the garden. So if I'm in it, I'll maybe send some pictures of what's happening. It's all green, but man, it is a lush green. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Take care. Love you.